Hey guys, finally I'm here with the series that I have been talking about. I have been waiting to do this series for so long, like so much planning and stuff. I'm really excited for this and I can't wait to show you all what I have in store. Hey guys, how are y'all doing? I'm so excited for this video. I won't talk much. I want to get straight into the video. But since this is the first video of the series that I'm doing, I'm going to give you a little introduction so that you know what to expect from this series. So in this series, what I'm going to talk about is, I'm going to talk about all the historical teas, like for example, say I'll talk about Atlantis. I'll talk about some conspiracy theories. I'll talk about the secrets of the lost world, or interesting things like that. I'll talk about things that are not talked about, I guess. People and places that are forgotten in history but has a very interesting history. If you are into these kind of things, then maybe subscribe to my channel, like this video, share this with your friends. It really helps, and also put the notification bell on because a lot of interesting things are coming. And for those of y'all who are new here, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so happy to have you here. And for those of y'all who have been with me for like a long time, thank you so much guys. I'm so happy and so grateful to have you all in my life. So without further babbling, I'm gonna go straight into the video. Have any of you ever played the game Assassin's Creed? If you have, then you would know in Assassin's Creed, it was Assassin's Creed Revelation. There was this mission where Ezio had to go to Turkey. Okay, and there was like the entire sequence, he was working in a city that was underground. So that really interests me. Like, of course, can you imagine like a city that is underground? It's definitely gonna interest us. But it is the kind of thing, which happens in fairy tales and stories and fables, like, I mean, come on. An underground city? What are you even talking about? But what if I told you that the city they showed in Assassin's Creed, that underground city, exists in real life? Not only that, it had everything that human beings need to survive. In the year 1963, a man in the Nevşehir province of Turkey, I hope I'm not pronouncing it incorrectly, in the Cappadocia region. I'm sorry if I'm like mispronouncing it. Please let me know in the comments below what's the actual pronunciation. So in the Nevşehir province in Cappadocia, a man, he was renovating his house and he was in his basement, he was like chilling and doing some work, and he knocked down a wall. Now when he knocked down this wall, he found something which looked like a hidden room. Then historians and archaeologists were contacted, and they came, started some excavation work, and they found what is today known as the lost city of Derinkuyu. Now, Derinkuyu has some very interesting features. First of all, it's an underground city. Like, people in real life inhabited underground. Not only that, it was very deep. It was almost like more than 20 meters in depth, which is around 200 feet, more than 200 feet actually. Can you imagine? And historians have estimated that Derinkuyu had the capacity to shelter almost 20,000 people, along with their livestock, cattle, and food storages. Now, for you to understand how much 20,000 is, the smallest country of the world today has a population of around 800 to 1,000 people. So you can imagine 20,000 people is actually a lot. It had a lot of unique features, like there were large stone doors which were round in shape, and each floor could be locked separately. Along with that, the entire city consisted of wine cellars, oil presses, storage rooms, stables, even chapels and schools. Can you imagine going to an underground school? There was one unique room in the second floor of this city, and the room had barrel vaulted ceiling. Now, what is a barrel vaulted ceiling? It's like a ceiling that looks like a barrel, the shape of a barrel, and historians assume that this room was probably used for religious purposes. Now y'all must be wondering that how can human beings survive underground? Like, from where would they get water and air? The city of Derinkuyu was built in such a way it had water supply in even the deepest corner of the city. Along with that, there were more than 1500 plus ventilation ducts so that air supply would reach even the deepest parts of the city. And another very interesting thing is moderate temperature was also maintained throughout the city. So like, you can imagine the kind of technology they had. Now, who built this city and why was it built? With regards to these two questions, we have a lot of theories, and this is the most important factor with this city of Derinkuyu is that mostly what historians know are assumptions based on evidences, but we are not sure. One very common theory says that this city was built in the 7th or the 8th centuries by the Phrygians. Initially, this city was carved out of the soft volcanic rock that is available in the Cappadocia region. I mean, that's like the speciality of the Cappadocia region. And because of that, there are a lot of other cities present in the Cappadocia region, and Derinkuyu was linked to all these cities. But Derinkuyu was the biggest city in this region, biggest underground city in this region. So it's believed that it was built in the 7th and the 8th century, but later, during the Byzantine era, it developed. And after that, when the inhabitants of the city, they became Christians, they started building chapels and churches inside the city. Like, how intriguing is that? You have schools and churches underground. Now y'all must be like, why was this city built? Why do human beings need to go and live underground, Now, there are several plausible theories regarding this, and one of them says that these underground cities were used to protect the inhabitants from the war with the gods. There are a lot of, myths and legends that says this. So what this could mean is that these underground cities were used as an escape by the inhabitants during the times of war. And you can also understand this from the fact that the doors that they used to use to lock each level, those doors could only be closed from just one side. So when they were, running away from the enemy, they could only, they could close the doors and the enemy would be locked. They wouldn't be able to open the door from the other side. And moreover, the deeper you go, the smaller the passage becomes, so that when you're running and you're escaping, you have to pass through those small passages, and the enemies, they are definitely not used to running from within those small passages, so they would be stuck. Another reason for which these ancient people might have used this city would be to protect themselves from natural disaster or climate change. Whatever it is pretty interesting because of the way the city was built. Because the city is built on soft volcanic rock, so it's easy to carve out the rock, but it is soft at the same time. So the city was built in such a way that it wouldn't collapse. I mean, it's pretty deep, but it didn't collapse. Moreover, when you are carving out some rock, then there must be some kind of residue. If not in the side, then at least near the site, but no sort of residue was found. That's why historians are confused as to what kind of technology did they really use to carve out the volcanic rock. Archaeologists and historians have also said that they believe if they excavate even further, they would find even more levels underground. So like it's already almost 200 feet. If they get more levels underground, can you imagine how deep that would be? These sort of underground cities could be found all over Europe. There is a very interesting book I found out about, and the name of the book is Secrets to the Underground Door to the Ancient World. Like, you know, even the name of the book itself is pretty intriguing. This book is written by a historian by the name of Heinrich Kusch. Now this historian, he wrote in his book about these kind of underground cities, and his research work shows that all over Europe we had like several underground cities or underground tunnels dug. So, you know, like after reading everything about this city, I really wonder that these people, these ancient people, the kind of technology they used to use, like, can you imagine? Like, we think that they used to live such a primitive life, they were such primitive people, but were they really that primitive? Because like it always blows my mind whenever I study about this ancient civilization and stuff. There are some things that doesn't make sense, especially when it comes to technology. What kind of technology did they use to carve out the rock in such a way that there is no residue? Or what kind of planning it took to make sure that air supply and water supply would go to the deepest corners of the city? Can you imagine? Like, this really blows my mind every time I think about it. What do you all think about it? Let me know in the comments below. So that's it for this video. This was like really interesting when I was doing my research. I really loved it, and my mind was blown, like literally. And I have a lot of other stories like this which will blow your mind. So I'm really excited and I can't wait to show you all what I have in store. I think I've already said that. Anyway, thank you so much if you have made this far. Thank you so much. You really mean the world to me. Thank you so much for bearing with me. I love you guys so much. I hope you all have an amazing day, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and stay safe, and I'm sending positive vibes to every single one of you. Thank you so much.